event services and will be on parking as we wait for the last a couple of people to come in. I'll relate to this story about parking. Several years ago, I produced an air show in Greenville, South Carolina at Donaldson, the former Donaldson Air Force Base, sponsored by the city and the county and the airport. The first meeting I went to, they said, how many people should we expect? I said 60,000, but I plan on 90. I must have grown horns out of my head for those expressions that the people gave me. They had no idea. On show day at dawn with fog 00, by 10 o'clock it was Kevin. One of the most beautiful spring days you can see down in the Carolinas. I turned to my wife and said, we're in trouble. We were. The crowd overwhelmed. The parking, the infrastructure, the roads to get there. People ended up stranded on interstate highways. It was, to put it lightly, a disaster. The political fallout of that event is such that we will never have another air show at that venue until every one of the airport commissioners is dead. The result simply because the people planning the traffic and looking for the flows thought they knew what they were doing. Well, it was proved on that Saturday that they didn't, and it was a total mess. We've got a solution for that right now, and that's Jerry Shapiro from Solution Event Services. He's the owner of that organization, and they've been in the parking industry since 1989. He received his MBA from the University, or Long Island University, the CW campus, and Jeffrey has extensive experience in a variety of events, locations, and parking services. Notable along his lengthy service and his air show resume also include 15 United States Open golf tournaments, 10 United States Open tennis championships, in addition to a litany of balloon festivals, NCAA events, university commitments, festivals, the United States Military Academy and West Point football games, and numerous fairs and other events in the Northeast. This man is the expert. But at this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Jeffrey, and you're going to find out why this strange setup is in place. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey, take it away.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a few minutes, we'll get everyone off their seats and we're going to demonstrate exactly what we do and how to park the cars to efficiently move the cars in and out of your event. So first thing we're going to do is everyone up off your seats, we're done. That's it, no more sitting around and no boring sessions. We're going to first be setting up the parking lot. Over here on the left where you came in will be the gate to a parking lot that you came in envisioning that. We'll be setting up a parking lot over here. So real quick, we're going to be setting up the parking lot. First thing you want to think of, we're going to be using 1/4 scale today. So we're going to be using about 4 steps for each line. Normally you use about 15 to 16 steps, which represent 60 feet when you're setting up a parking lot. Most important thing is to make sure you have a straight line. As I'm going to say is we're going to put the first line of cars right here. Most people then try to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to take a tree out 400, 500, 600 yards out and walk a straight line. What I suggest is you take in cones, put it on the corner similar to that. And you can put magic cones on the other side of the field for you to walk out. Can I get 2 volunteers, please? 1, 2, here we go. All right, normally you'd be using chalk, field paint, something like that. Today we're going to be using tape because we don't want to put that down here. So what we're going to do is we'll be dividing this room into 2 different sections so we can multiply what we're going to be parking. So we're going to take the tape here, extend it right down to here, and right here on the floor on my foot. From the cone? From the cone right to my foot. This is representing the first car, first line park. Assume the show me right to me. And then there'll be an aisle for cars to travel up and down. And we're going to do one more line right here. My foot right back. All right, now the quickest way to do this, I need 4 more people, please. Let's go, just take it. How about you 4 right here? We'll work my way up. Yeah, you have Dave. Right, traditionally what we'll have is you'll have some number 18 twine, really cheap twine you can buy there, and people will be using either your measuring sticks to go 60 feet. If you don't have the measuring sticks, they take 14 to 15 steps. We're going to be using 4 today. So give me 1 second to explain to them what goes on, and I'll show you guys. Who has tape? Okay, again, you guys connect the dots between their feet. 1 more person, please, sir, right here. You're going to do the same thing there, please. You're going to take 4 steps here, walk straight out to the side, you're going to walk straight out there, 4 steps. Yep, tape in between them. All right, we're going to connect the tape. We're starting to build the parking lot of what's going on. These lines are going to represent the front bumper of a double set of cars, and then there'll be an aisle. We'll demonstrate that in a second. And we're going to continue this halfway down the route. It's very important that the people on the side that they're measuring, that they're walking perfectly straight. If they choose an area that's on an angle down the road, these lines will become uneven. So you'll have either 60 feet on one side and 40 feet on another side. So after you lay down, I suggest you take a golf cart, your car or something, because these fields get big, as you know, and you just drive along, looking, making sure they're nice and parallel. Keep going, let's go. A couple more now. All right, what you see is that down here, I just fixed them. Since both sides were walking a little bit different on a different step, they were not lined up perfectly. So all I did is put them in line, so it's all about an impression when the customer comes in to ensure they see exactly what they're going to see, and it looks nice and square. If it's all messed up, they're not going to feel comfortable, and you're going to lose control of the parking lot. 1 more volunteer, please. Tony? You too. We're going to do a quick demonstration of 1 car going in there, then we're going to multiply this multiple times. The actual spot where the car is parked takes a team of 3. So if we're going to be doing 2 sides, there's going to be at least 6 people needed where the car actually parks. The 2 people that are on the line, David right here is in charge of making sure the front bumper is landing on this line. Tony right here is in charge of making sure the distance is correct. So we're maximizing the space. If Tony takes too many steps back, we have too much room between the cars and we start to lose cars. If David doesn't do his job, we end up too far this way, and the aisle gets too small. My job is to make sure that the car's wheels are straight, perfectly straight when they're going in there, so there's no last minute adjustments. That allows the cars to continuously roll in without stopping. If the car stops right here, this eventually stops all the way out to your highway.
Never underestimate the power of hand signals.
And as you see, they're waving their hand signals, showing what they need to do. As it,
Exactly how they come
David's going to move back a little bit as it gets closer. If David stands on the line there, the car will not stop because their perceptions think they're going to hit you. Anyone have any questions at this time? We get a little bit more complicated.
You got about 15,000 more times.
Good. I need 10 people, 5 to take the cars outside and 5 without the cars. So go outside, please.
Take it outside. Yeah, we're doing all 5, right? Yeah. All 5?
All 5 cars outside and 5.
Everyone will have to have some right assessment.
Exactly. I guess we're taking tape back. They all just want to play with those lights. They all want to play with those lights.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the lights.
Trifocals. That instant we had there in Greenville. It's so perfect.
Oh,
I've written so hard.
I didn't
Step up front real quick. Guys, I shut the doors intentionally, they're outside. So they're going to simulate a customer coming in, they're not going to hear what we're doing. So when they're coming in here, they're not going to know what we're trying to put them or what's going to go on. This team of 3, we're going to put you guys right here, and we're going to use some support a second. Chris, you want to take the line right here? Dave, you want to take the line right by the phone? You can go right in. I promise you. Okay. Why don't you take right next to him where Tony was, making sure the distance right. You're going to stay right here, 2 lines out. Now this person that's taking care of the car is going to be 2 lines out, very simple. 2 lines out is enough to make sure the car is straight and prepared to go in and reach where they need to. You'll be standing on this line right here. Okay? So you're going to be right here with Chris. You're going to be on this side. Make sure the distance is right. You're going to 2 lines out here. Make sure the cars are coming nice and straight to that. Okay? All right, need a couple more people. I need one person right up here for me, please. Right here, please. You're going to be charging me to the car stay in 2 lanes. We're going to be coming in 2 lanes. Now, remember, I've only set up 2 areas. That's all we have here. You want to try to break down as much as you can. If you're coming off your roads in 2 lanes, you want to try to park 4 to 6 lanes simultaneously. Once they come off your roads, they're going on your grass or your parking lot, they're traveling slower. So you need to make up for that to be able to multiply the areas that you're parking. Directing him today. Tony, put some cones down from the aisle real quick. Middle aisle. Middle aisle. And what I'm going to be doing is taking some cones to marking the middle aisle. So make sure that parking attendants don't ruin it, although it will help people see where they're going to be going later. I'm going to do 2 lanes all at once. There will be a couple mistakes, and then we're going to have a chance to critique them and make it better. You guys all set? You guys know what you're doing? Good? Good, good? You think it's so easy? You're going to I'm not in any direction, except I'm opening the doors and telling them to go into 2 lanes. Okay? The idea is 2 lanes. Yep. The idea is for you. We're going to pass off half the cars this side, okay. Half the cars to that side. You are super perfect.
Yeah, I know. We're just going everywhere. They're getting their own session out there about cars. Yeah, exactly.
Sure, the guy gets ran over by the first car.
Yeah.
And they will run you over if you don't move away.
people are intelligent. When they become the public, they lose all sense of anything.
I used to feel the beginning. I first worked for him, and I used to be like, I'm a human. If you hit me, I will die. I jump at them. People are so crazy.
Not a bully.
And they don't want to listen. They don't want to. You tell them to go here, they think there's a spot there, that's where they want to go. Like they're already going around the cones.
Lots of dramatic landmarks. Up.
All right, so as you guys can see, this side had a pretty good success here. This side needs a little bit of work. The first thing we'll do is start right over here, the side that you were standing on. When they come to this side of you, they have the ability to go anywhere you want, as you saw how wide the cars were. If the cars come on this side of you here, you're going to walk back a little bit and control the distance. Okay? And then down here, you have to take only a couple steps back. So when they come in, that they can't just park that far. You're in charge of doing that. We could have lost 3 or 4 cars alone in this line. You multiply that out, you could lose 1,000 cars for the property alone. All right, we're going to do one more time with this crew, and then we're going to switch into someone else. You guys bring the cars back into the next group.
Don't worry, I think we have the scouts doing it this year, so that should be amazing.
Well, if you'll train them up front,
A
scouts
couple of guys who
in.
want to be Eagle Scouts, and they'll run everybody.
That's it. You train the senior patrol leaders and Eagle Scouts, and then you send them out and they can handle it.
Yeah, where do you go for training for this kind of stuff?
You have to do it yourself. Oh, it's your event. That Gary consults.
Jeff, he comes and does this with your.
Yeah.
We're in Alberta for over 10. It's a small show.
He did a
Right.
Canadian show.
All right, we'll try one more time. Let's go, cars, come on in. Please remember that the cars cannot stop. As soon as they stop anywhere inside this parking area, this will affect your traffic all the way out again to the highways. They have to keep moving, they have to be in the right areas. When you plan this space, if you're parked wrong, you're going to lose that space.
There we are, right there. There we are.
There we go, that looked very good. Now what would happen is we would take these cars and they would meet in the middle, obviously stopping at the cones. Then after that, they would start at the cones here. And the second row would be right behind it. As you're parking the second row, I normally tell people that be within a foot or 2 of the car. We all know that's a little close, but it really gets them very close. What a lot of people like to do is to wave the cars in like this and stand here as the car's coming at them. That usually ends up with no kneecaps. And also cars perceive it and they're dangerous, they go slow. So what you want to do is have them standing on the side, just walking like this, as they come in, to zigzag back and forth. It saves a lot of work instead of running back and resetting like an old-fashioned typewriter. The whole team standing here, start here, work this way. Once this is finished, we can then move on to the next line right here. The whole team doesn't have to walk back to the other side. All right, can I get a new parking team in here? This parking team, hop out.
Give it a hand for
Give it to someone.
So what you're saying, when you park cars, you want to bolt this way instead of going back and forth across the way?
Back and forth across the way.
I'm saying instead of having one car and one park there, you're saying in your way, you have 2 park lanes.
There's an aisle, this is an aisle here,
Right?
and then there would be another car right here.
And this is how it would look. And your question is, what some people do, that's what some people do will park.
Whoever was
Two right away, two right away.
Or it was just the parking team, you guys are right side, but now be the
I'll
drivers.
just call you back.
We don't
Okay.
sit like a typewriter, we just make it happen here. And that could, on your entryway, It's more of a question of load times. If we do not have.
Your movements more as opposed to squeeze.
You stay on this side, just run out any distance you want.
That
Turn your mic on.
Hmm?
Your
Yeah.
turn on the mic.
Where's his mom?
Two actions. Fill that lane in so you have.
that is absolutely a viable option for somebody.
This one right here,
I'm sorry, sir, you good to go?
Yeah,
Just simulate the frustration to get in the car. Pounding on the hood. Hello? Why you introduced me? Yeah.
Do you not see him? You can hear the ocean.
Lack of focus.
All right, if everyone can see the side that I am on, the directors have to take control of the cars. The cars are not listening. They might have to step in front of them. They might have to move to make sure the parking is the correct way. Make sure they keep control of that.
All hell breaks loose.
These two directors right here have to get a little bit more aggressive, making sure that they see you and they're moving in front of you. You might have to use a little bit of voice. You might have to use more of a hand signal to make sure they're going where they need to go. We call medic or something? I call PMO and let them know.
You're missing this. They're flipping the cars over.
Oh, we alone will do it.
Take the cars back outside.
Guarantee you they would start pumping.
Uh-huh.
Does this setup allow you to record when somebody stalls out? Absolutely. That's records are big enough to have that. So changing between is enough to pull it out.
Yep. Or the, actually probably on the 16th. Normal every day.
So these are the cars we need to get.
There you go.
That's what we put everything in them. When my son got his big, big automatic car, we put a belt on it. So we could, because when he was ramming into other people's cars, we could get him back on track. Oh, car things in our blood.
You know what? As soon as they hit the line, kick the fender, and that tells them to stop.
The airbags go off. As this next set is coming in, we're going to put them in the one lane closest to the chairs. Oh, let's stop here. Let's stop. Hold on, let's try this again. Okay, now guys, as everyone's laughing, this is typical. This is what happens. Someone wants to go somewhere where they're not. The person at that point, who's ever in charge of that parking lot, has to identify that, make a quick decision. If it's a temporary stop, great. If you can somehow work with it, that's what you have to do. But as soon as they start going anywhere they want, you're losing parking spaces. You're not able to do an egress because the people are parked all random. They got to pay attention. Has to be a definitive person in each parking area that's going to be responsible for that. Not just 5 or 6 volunteers saying, you guys go have fun. One of those volunteers has to be responsible for that parking area. Back on that, cars. Let's go. Come on, back on that.
This is where we all see.
We say,
you see, they just had the guy in Providence, you can tell we're talking 1 day a year, and he does all the dancing in the streets.
It's gonna be a really good YouTube video.
All right, we're going to try this again. I'll try to talk a little bit nicer. All right, let's go, guys. Come on in.
What does that mean, Joe?
All right, so we now need to send Joe to the hospital and get him new legs. Okay, he got hit 5 times that time. A few times, Joe, as the cars were approaching on the front line, needed to take a step backwards. So the cars will continue to move slowly at him. If you stand in line, as I said before, the cars will slow up a lot and not proceed all the way in line. On the second row, Joe is standing between the cars. So that means his knees are gone because the front and back bumpers squish him. And again, the cars will be going slowly as they're coming in. So you want to be standing them on the side and bringing them in. You guys reset? I'm going to take Joe's position this time.
I should have done that.
What? No. This spot's in here, Mara. I don't want that.
There's also a microphone.
Tony. Well, you and I together. Hold on, Tony's going to take you over.
You want to blast or are you okay with that?
This isn't saving.
Jeff, they're a little aggressive, these fuckers. I'd be really careful.
San Diego.
Yeah.
It's got its whole
Please.
crew here on it.
Don't get run over.
As you guys can see, I'm walking back a little bit as they come in. After this one, they'll be
We're gonna pretend you guys are.
pretend you're not there. That's going to be a little bit harder. As Tony's just guiding them in, nice and close, they're in the way, out of the way. See, nice and close, we didn't lose any space. We'll fit all the cars on the property, not run out, which I hear a lot in air shows that, well, we thought we had enough space. Well, you don't because they're not parked correctly. All right, let's switch out. Who hasn't been a parking person yet?
Who wants to get involved?
Raise your hand, let's see who else. Whoever wishes us in the parking, please take the cars outside.
Be a car with a vest.
We're going to get you some partners here. Let's see what we got going on. Peter, right over here. Be right here. Step back. Control the size correct. And then we have the second one out here. Making sure that the eyes are straight, they're coming in nice and straight. So if you stand on that side, the cars will yeah, I'm going to fade away from you. We don't want that.
They're expecting he's going to training those little cars are with him. They do little type cars with you.
Otherwise, they're going to, yeah, they're going to, like, you in the home,
I've
you're
seen the
out
pictures where
and
trainers
out,
like,
parking anywhere they want.
maybe the arms of the people that he does it with, and their uniforms are all watching.
They should. That's the purpose of
Sounds
this.
easy,
This
but
setup. You're not going to see it.
Such a bad watch this. just like wash or fryers or something like this. Parking. Without training or planning. Like that.
All right, here come the cars, people. Gates are open.
Yeah, I show everything, so I started parking the car.
Let's go, Tony. Gates open. I know it's saying that's not really just the number, it has to do with all your parking lots and your roads.
Step back.
That's good. Good.
Alright, man, get out of your turn, get in shell. Get out of the.
All right. Very good over here. We have one little problem here. So when they're coming in, please make sure you take steps backwards. The cars will slow up. If you stand on this line, the cars will slow up because they're scared to hit you. So as they come back, you want to be walking backwards so they continue with you. If you move to the side like you did, they don't want to drive up. You need to get them on this line. Your foot there, when you're in a car. You remember you see 3, 4, 5 feet in front of you. Yes, they're civilians.
They're dumb.
Will that mean that I'm spacing?
Your spacing the car in real life is 3 to 3.5 steps. Obviously, we're doing a step here for purpose of scale. All right, let's take these cars out one more time. Has anyone not had a chance to do any parking yet? Everyone in the room had a chance to be in the parking team? Okay, let's take the cars out. We're going to just do one side real quick.
Not done.
Alright, now don't screw it up this time. We're gonna cut your volunteer base in half.
All right, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to do one side. We're going to do the double side here again, and then put a row right behind you. Okay?
The double side.
Put 3 cars in front, then put 2 cars in back. Okay?
All one lane, right?
Yeah, Tony, so tell the front car, set of cars, once they park it, to move out of the way. Just come in, just wait for it. Yeah, step over a little bit so it's nice and easy. Good? Good to go? All right.
Wow.
All right, so now we need a tow truck. Now we have a car blocked in the middle. Let's try this again. Let's go. 5 cars back out, please.
You wanted the exercise, right?
And now you've just gotten a really bad vlog and a Yahoo shout out
This is exactly what happens
as they're getting out of their car.
Yep.
with the
That's
teams.
the problem.
You got to be paying attention all the time and having really quick. The communication for the team out here is not concise with these 3 people, and you end up with a car blocked in, or you end up with snarling traffic in this parking area, and this again continues all the way out to the highways to someone's calling you saying, I can't get there, it's been 3 hours on the road, and what unfortunately a lot of people have heard. All right. Just tailgating. Welcome to the World of Air Shows. Try again. See if we can get him in again. What's that?
He's getting run over, sure.
That's perfect. There we go, the double line. So now what we're having is if these cars are here, okay, we're going to make it a little more complicated this time.
You know, like you're going back out there.
Tony. Hey guys, when you just want to do the double, then the fifth car I'm going to want up there. The fifth car I'm going to want there, assuming that this is full. I'm going to do it. One here, one here, one here, one here. Pretend this line is filled, and then we're going to want the next one up there. No, slow down. No, you can't tell me slow down. There's no slowing down. Tony, shut the doors for a minute, please. You can switch roles if you have to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to go one step further down. We're going to do the 2-lane simulating, and the fifth car, so we parked on the next aisle, simulating that we filled that complete lineup, and now they have to move to the next one. I wish you could hear what they're just trying to figure out now of how to get to there. The major asked me if you can slow the cars up. You can't slow the cars up. If you slow the cars up here, we're going to back up again all the way out to the highway. It cannot stop. Wheels must turn at the same consistent pace as soon as they get through those gates. Hopefully the people outside don't hear it too much, and they're not going to know exactly what's going on. Again, this is simulating that the whole entire row is filled up, and we're ready to begin the next row. Gates open.
I think some of these people are trying out for a job.
All right, we're going to try that one. Tony, you're stepping in with me.
Sorry.
5 cars back out now. We're going to try to hit this one right in here.
I thought I walked along the wall.
All right, Tony and I are going to demonstrate this one.
You got the fired.
Well, I'm trying to see. Because well, I'm not going like that. I'm not going like that. He's going like this. Third and fourth, and then back in. Yeah, well, that's he's doing that, not me. This is what goes on normal during training that we're trying to eliminate.
Okay. I just was wondering why.
So,
I
1, 2, 3, 4.
was wondering why you were doing that.
1. Yes. That's what I'm. Yeah, we're going to step in right now and show you. Make sure you're going to be in the line. You guys are for a minute.
Okay.
All right. I don't think that's fine. Tony, you got the side. You just got the line. Yes. All right. Tony and I are going to step in along with the major to demonstrate again the pattern and then going to the next line. I'm that person that's 2 lines up. As soon as I see them coming up, I'm going to step up another line to ensure the cars are going in straight and going where they need to go. Because we moved up the line, so I have to move up the line. You guys got it? Tell them what's on it.
You're getting tired.
right behind. Next line right there, next line right there. Okay, that didn't work either.
Wow.
Not even close, not even close. Okay. Guys, we're going to put this together slowly so it's done right. It seems like no one is doing it. These two cars are going in just fine. We would be at the end of the row here. The next car would step right behind it, and putting the puzzle together would go here. So again, I didn't have to walk all the way back to the other side. I didn't have to impede traffic. I didn't have to slow it. Step right behind, work our way back. Again, we're working our way all the way back on that first double here. And we now have the first double row all the way completed, second, third, whatever it is. The next car then will be right here on the corner. Getting ready. When the back's coming in, you don't need 2 or 3 people. One person could actually handle. I can control the distance, and I can control the distance from the side car and the front car when someone's resetting to get into that position very easily. So there's an opportunity to do that, to make sure that they're sitting there waiting, going like this so that car knows where they need to go. Let's try one more time, guys. Let's see if we get this right. One more time before we start summing up here.
Person's right there. Okay, so now, this person, having slowed this car.
They're not going to record this. Let me go.
All right, so you don't wait.
These are already built. I'm saying these are built.
So put the car in this way. And so I can run down here and start.
I'm not. I didn't. I went from here to here, and then the second row here, walked my way back here, now I'm stuck to that way.
But you're not imagining that these cars are here. They're already here. What he's saying is you're going this way.
There we go.
I don't think
Why'd you stop them? Probably get it ready for that next car once they get there. Now you take that next car right there. Well, as you guys can see, they kept on moving in, they parked nice and perfectly. Give you guys a little summary again. Again, we're working in quarter scale here. These lines 60 feet apart, 3 to 4 steps back each time then to make sure the distance between the cars are correct. And the cars are always moving. Very, very important. You do not stop the cars at the point. How many how many areas to subdivide depends on the area. The more you can subdivide a particular field, the faster the cars will get in. If you have too many subdivisions and one area is not getting enough, you can have the point person, which would be right here, filling the entire area evenly, sending 5 cars here, 5 cars here, 5 cars there, or 20, 20, 20. The whole important thing here is to fill them evenly. If this side here fills up halfway or 3/4, and then all of a sudden you start filling this, and it gets to be about 11 o'clock, as we know is a busy time, you're going to lose the opportunity to multiply because this side of the field is going to be completed, and now you have to put everyone on this side. So if you're subdividing into 3, 4 areas, all 3, 4 areas have to be filled simultaneously at the same distance, so they're staying the same percentage. Sometimes early in the morning it's difficult because there's only a few cars rolling in. Have someone in point person putting a few cars in each area. It gives an opportunity for those parking teams to get comfortable. They went through some training. Now they get the live customer coming in and they can see exactly what goes on. They get comfortable working as a team. The number of people you need for your parking team. Each subdivision, as you see, you definitely need 3 people at the point the car is being put into park. The amount of people you need spread out all depends on the distance that you have from your gate to where that team of 3 is. I recommend when you're out by the gate, you can have someone every 300 to 400 feet. As you get a little bit closer to the point of contact, where the cars will be parked, you should bring that down to about 200 feet. And that's about where someone will start looking for someone else, waving them in a certain direction. If you're having a little problem with staffing, get extra cones. Set the cones up in patterns in particular areas. But nothing replaces the person. If the cones are just in the middle of nowhere, the cars will just kind of go wherever they want to go. Anyone have any questions at this time? Anyone want to talk in detail about how this is set up?
Do you have like measurements, do you have measurements exactly how far the space it goes?
60 feet. 60 feet from line to line. Yes, sir.
Maybe this isn't the time for question, but sometime during this, we've had a huge open field, I mean, huge acres. How do you mark the best way to mark where the people are, so they can find their wrong way?
Okay, so we're talking like a 200-acre field.
Yeah.
Okay, 20,000 cars in about 200 acres. What you want to do is subdivide that up. However you're subdividing, we're just using this as, let's say 10 acres this side, 10 acres on this side. I would recommend using this side as like red, this side is blue, along with numbers. So this would be red 1 through 50, and blue 1 through 50.
Where do you put like a pole up?
I've seen all different things. You got to be about 10 to 12 feet in there. I've seen all different things. I've seen haystacks on all ends with the little things as everyone walks, and each one actually has an aisle, so it's blue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've seen location signs that are about 20 feet in there that are A-frames that will just say silver 1, blue 1. I've seen little poles that will demark. Everyone really has a different technique of doing it. It's really what they have in inventory of what it is. I've also seen techniques if you have an opportunity to get a sponsor to give wristbands out or give little cards out as they're leaving their parking lot before they get on the shuttle, just so they'll remember where they're parked. Everyone knows they don't remember. On your apps, if you guys have any apps, put a GPS location on your app so when they get out of there, they remember to hit the little GPS location on their app. Also, if you don't have apps, on your Twitter or on your Facebook, remind them to take a picture of their parking location. Even take a picture of where they are in the field. Someone there will be able to say, wait, I can kind of get a reference because I know where that hangar is, or I know the Blues are parked there. Now, anything we can do to help them, I'm sure everyone here has driven around with people looking for the silver Toyota Corolla, and eventually you're just like, you know what, just give me a couple hours and they'll be left, it'll be a lot easier to be back. Yes?